Hey, salut à tous, bienvenue dans une nouvelle vidéo interview. Alors cette fois-ci, dans cet épisode, j'ai l'honneur de vous présenter ma conversation avec Stefan Nordström, donc qui est le chanteur et le guitariste de la formation Soliloquium, donc un groupe de doom death metal suédois. Ils ont à leur actif 3 albums, avec un premier sorti en 2016 qui s'intitulait An Empty Frame, est sorti en 2018 le deuxième album Contemplations et en 2020 Things We Leave Behind. Leurs lyrics parlent notamment de dépression, de mélancolie, de la condition humaine, de maladie mentale et également de souffrance intérieure. Ça reste du doom, ça reste du death metal. Donc la formation, c'est Jonas Bergqvist à la basse et Stefan Nordström aux vocals et à la guitare. Et c'est Stefan que j'ai eu le plaisir d'interviewer. Donc voilà, enjoy! Hi everybody, welcome to my channel for another interview. Today I'm having a conversation with Mr. Stefan. Do we say Stefan in Swedish?
We say Stefan, but we usually make it more English, like Stefan, when we talk to foreign people.
So Stefan is fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with Stefan here, who is the lead singer from several bands actually. From Soliloquium, I don't know if my pronunciation is good, or Soliloquium.
Oh, there are like 10 ways to say that. I'm not sure which one is the correct. I say like Soliloquium, but I'm not sure if it's the right one. I stole the name from a Nevermore song from the beginning and kind of pronounced it like he did, but I'm not sure if he knew what it was doing either. So.
Okay. And now you answered my first question without me asking it. It's good. It's perfect.
Perfect.
So, hi, Stefan. How are you?
Hi, I'm very good. Glad to be here. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Strange noise.
Sorry?
I have a strange noise coming maybe from your microphone, or I don't know.
No, maybe it's my hair. Maybe it's my hair getting stuck in the microphone. Let's see. Might be. Is it better now?
Can you talk?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better.
Oh, I think it was my hair, because my hair was all around the microphone. So I'm going to put it back a little bit.
Accidents happen.
That's all problems.
You're actually the lead singer of Soliloquium, which is a death doom heavy metal band from Stockholm, Sweden. So you're basically located in Sweden now as we talk.
Yeah.
You're also the singer of Desolator, which is more death metal, 100% death metal band. And apparently you have many different sides projects as well next to these two main projects. As I read, you're a very busy man. So that's why I'm really glad to have you here, because you're a really big musician. You sing, you play the guitar. What else do you do? It's enough, or are you right? You compose as well.
Yeah, I sing and I play guitar and I compose. So I think I'm more of like a songwriter than a guitarist or a vocalist. I mean, I've written so many songs, and I'm not really like a super good guitarist or a super good singer. I think I'm more like a songwriter, I would call myself.
So I guess it's your main occupation. You're a musician, and it's your job, it's your work, it's your main occupation.
No.
I know.
I know I don't make any money from music. It's like very small money. So I have to have a real job.
Wow. So you're working full-time in a real job, and then you work in that many musical projects?
Well, I'm not full-time working anymore. Like I used to work in digital marketing, and then I realized like this is not coming together with my music, because it was like dominating my entire life. So I decided to become a freelance instead. So I'm working maybe like around half time maybe in terms of the hours, just to make the money come in, because like the music is actually like costing more money than it's making me. So I have to find the balance there. It's really hard, because I mean, I would love to put all my time on music, of course. That would be much more fun.
Okay. Oh, I thought you were actually living with music, because you to participate in so many bands and produce so many albums, and say, okay, the guy is a musician, 100%. He has no work aside; is his main occupation. So, well, I wish you will get there once, because you're really talented. So You deserve it. And did you already? When did you start to play music and to sing? And what was the original trigger that happened in your mind, saying, "Okay, I want to perform music. I want to be a musician," and especially in heavy metal, and especially in death doom metal. What was the trigger, and at what age exactly?
I think it was like around when I was like 14 or 15, I started hearing these bands on like MTV and stuff, and it was like this like Metallica, Iron Maiden, those kind of classic heavy metal style bands, and I got really into them, and I got a guitar and started playing, but it didn't get serious maybe until like 3 or 4 years later when I started listening to extreme metal and the death metal and the death doom metal and Catatonia and all that came in maybe when I was like 17, 18 maybe, and that's when everything started becoming way more serious. And yeah, I would say death doom metal, when that actually happened to me, must have been when I discovered Brave Murder Day, I think, when I was going backwards, because I was a really big fan of newer Catatonia and newer Opeth, but I hadn't heard Brave Murder Day, and then when I heard Brave Murder Day, I got like really obsessed with that style.
Flightless, we stand firmly on the cursed soil. Was there a water wind racing the clock to no avail? Life has come to a halt. We're still compelled to carry on.
With regards to Soliloquium, so there are 3 LPs so far, if I'm correct. One that you released in 2016, An Empty Frame. In 2018, Contemplations, sorry. And in 2020, Things We Leave Behind. My personal favorite is An Empty Frame. I cannot tell you why, but it's the one which I listen to the most. You know, the 3 of them are great. But if I have to pick one, I would choose this one, the one from 2016. But I would like to ask you: is there what are the main themes in the lyrics that are exploited in your albums in general? And is there, if so, is there a connection lyrically or maybe story point of view between the 3 albums, or is it really 3 different things that have nothing to do, that have nothing in common?
I think they have a lot in common because it's a lot of like, it's almost like a life story diary type thing for me. I'm documenting life experiences and things that are happening to me pretty much, like, okay. And like just, I think venting a lot of negative stuff and just putting it out into the music. I think that's kind of, and I've been trying to get better and better at the lyrics as well, just make them more specific, more personal, and get the songs to kind of have their individual identity. Because in the beginning of Soliloquium, it was just like, especially the EPs, when I was trying to figure out what I was doing, it was just like random depressive topics like autumn and darkness, and like just trying to figure it out. And when I started coming to the phase of like An Empty Frame and Contemplations, I was trying to figure out more and more of like a real theme based on my life, and finding out like how can I express it in a better way. And I really started thinking about that, I think, on Contemplations, when I started making songs that had like really, really specific topics. Because when I did An Empty Frame, I was still kind of mixing the themes of the songs together a little bit. Not really, personally, I don't think I really found the individual sense in every song. It was more like a big package.
Okay.
But it's interesting that An Empty Frame is your favorite, because like personally, I don't think that album is that great, but everyone, I mean, every time I do like let people vote on their favorite Soliloquium album, it's always An Empty Frame winning.
So it shouldn't surprise you then, because all your fans prefer An Empty Frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you personally, you're most, I won't say disappointed, but to your eyes, this one is not. Can you tell about that? Why do you think you're surprised when people, especially fans, tell you that an empty frame is their favorite. Why does it surprise you?
But I think it's that typical difference between listener and musician. You know, when you're a musician, you think about what have I changed from the last album, all the progress and all how you did things differently and better. As a listener, maybe like I think An Empty Frame was the first example of how Soliloquium sounds, where I really found the sound of Soliloquium. And I think a lot of people maybe heard us the first time there as well. And of course, it's like a bigger thing when you hear the entire sound the first time. When you hear something like Contemplations or Things We Leave Behind, where I maybe change 10 or 15% of the sound, maybe the difference isn't big enough to make, give that big oomph factor to it. I think that could be something.
Okay. Yeah, but again, all the 3 albums are great. It's really the type of music that I love, because you never know what's going to catch you in the next corner. When you listen to even one track, you don't know what's going to happen. It's not predictable. So that's what I love about this kind of music. But yeah, it's great. I remember when I actually discovered Soliloquium thanks to YouTube, because I was listening to a lot of Swallow the Sun with one of my favorite bands, let's say, and I think they are from it's not
Finland.
They're from Sweden. No, Finland. Finland. Yeah, they are from Finland. Why are Scandinavian so good with music? What's happened there? I mean, either it's Norway, either it's Finland, either it's Sweden. You're located there. Why are you so good in music in Scandinavia? It's crazy.
I think it's the melancholy and the darkness, because especially when it comes to like death doom metal and melodic death metal, I mean, so much of the stuff is from there. So I think it's like we have a lot of dark thoughts and dark weather, and I think it inspires a lot of the arts.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, so I was saying Swallow the Sun is one of my favorite bands who brought me into heavy metal, but the first mega band, let's say, who really brought me into heavy metal is Opeth, another Swedish band. And yeah, it's crazy. All the bands I love are from Scandinavia. So were you maybe influenced a little bit by their work, Opeth, or not at all? What do you think about Opeth music?
Definitely. Blackwater Park was a huge album when it comes to my musical development, because I was listening a lot to the classical melodic death metal stuff like In Flames, Dark Tranquility, and all that stuff. I think it was around 2002 maybe I discovered Opeth when they released Deliverance, and I started listening to that one and Blackwater Park, and Opeth and Mikael Åkerfeldt has been a huge influence for sure, especially when it comes to extreme vocals. And I mean, half of my growl covers on YouTube are Bloodbath songs and Åkerfeldt songs from Brave Murder Day, so he's been a huge influence for sure.
Okay, and so if you would pick an album of their 13 studio albums, it would be Blackwater Park?
Ooh, that's tight. I think for me their peak is Blackwater Park, Deliverance, and Damnation. Those 3 albums, I think they're exactly at the right spot. But I mean, most of the albums are great, I think.
Yeah. There's not even one album that you can throw away. They are all good, What do you think about this kind of progression when we talk to a band that has such a long history? They started in the 1990s and they are still there now. They have released 13 albums that are, critically acclaimed all over the world. What do you think about such a diversion in the music, because they started as let's say, a mix of black metal music, progressive death metal music, melodic death metal, and now they are 100% progressive metal. The Michael doesn't growl anymore. People get crazy on the web because of that. Some people prefer it. What do you think about a band who's really in the same direction for years and years and years and critically acclaimed, and then one day and another they choose directly another path and just not forget, but they just leave behind what they've produced so far? What do you think about that?
I think it's fine as long as the music is good. When it's Opeth, actually, I'm not a really huge fan of the newer albums. Actually, I like some songs, but I'm definitely not 100% on board with their sound. But it's not about the clean vocals; it's more about the feeling and the way they write songs and the way he sings now. More than, I mean, I don't mind them being soft. I love Damnation, but for your overall question, I mean, I think bands should change and make great music, whatever it sounds like. I mean, look at a band like Anathema. They made the most.
Yeah.
Anathema.
That's a very good example. Yeah.
They made like the most destructively depressive music any band ever made, and then they switched around to this like light symphonic rock sound, and it's like equally emotional, just in a different way, you know. So I'm definitely for bands changing. I mean, otherwise it would be boring. And I think about that with Soliloquium too. Like, I don't want to make the same album twice, even if it pisses some people off. I'm not gonna do that.
No silver lining in the common misery. Glorified ashen cloud, streetlight city swallowing life, a blank stare beyond the crowd.
Now back to Soliloquium. When you say my next album will not be the same as the three previous one, will it remain Death Doom, if I may ask?
Oh yeah, it will be extreme metal at least, but it's gonna be like, as usual, it's gonna be a bit of everything. Like I switched in even more styles than this one, I think, but it's gonna be definitely the same mix of like this extreme metal, heaviness, and the progressive stuff and the softer stuff, but I'm taking different directions as well. I surprised myself because I was like, every time I make a full-length album these days with Soliloquium, I'm like, oh, the next one is probably going to be like a soft shoegaze album or something because I want to do something radically different. But then I wind up like writing an extreme metal album anyway because it just becomes that, you know. So we'll see if I fall into the clean vocal trap sometime and just make an album like that. I'm not sure. I'm just going to follow the flow, see where it takes me there.
Okay, and you're still in the process of writing, I guess, composing at the moment?
The songs are done. We're actually recording right now. The drummer is recording drums. So it's really exciting. And it's like, I'm doing it in a different way this time with the session drums. I'm actually hiring a guy on Fiverr to do the drums, which has been extremely smooth because usually, you know, you have to book studios and find dates where people aren't busy and all that stuff. When you do it in Fiverr, you get it like in 10 days. And especially if you find a good one that can perform it, it's like super smooth. So yeah, it's been a very good experience so far.
Cool. Will you incorporate things like cello, violins, or it's not really on the menu?
It's funny how you ask that because I have some ideas. We'll see if they happen. I haven't decided yet, but
Please do.
Because that's been one of the things with Soliloquium that I felt haven't been developed completely. Like, I do feel like the sound is a bit too, how do you say it? There's not enough going on at the same time. Like, it's very basic. I mean, it's usually for a progressive type band. I mean, it's usually like guitar, bass, and drums. So it would be cool to do it, but it depends on if I can make it sound good as well, of course.
You will. I bet you will. Come on. I need cellos on your next album. I believe it.
Yeah, I think it would definitely fit, like, especially if you have like one song where you have them like very upfront. I mean, it really fits in depressive metal music, I think, so it's great.
It's not going to be releasing in 2021, I guess. It's going to be releasing next year, or...
Realistically, I would think next year, yeah. Kind of depends. It's, you know, there's always like these life factors involved. Like, I'm traveling a lot and that kind of stuff, and I'm kind of sitting in Sweden right now waiting for COVID to end so I can get out and travel. So if I'm suddenly able to travel, that might make the album process slower. But I would guess 2022 sometime is realistic.
Okay. You know what? Let's make a deal. when COVID is over and you can take the plane to Belgium, it doesn't matter if the album is like on pause, you know. You come to Belgium, I pick you up in Brussels, I make you visit my area here, I make you drink the best beer on the area. Believe me, there are many. And then maybe you will give me the honor to play a little bit, you know, for me.
We can listen to the sample album in the car or something.
Yeah. Cool. Stefan, that's been very nice to talk to you. So we'll keep in touch, and I wish you all the best for the future. And I can't wait for your next album, and I will definitely keep an eye on it. And please put the cellos and the violins.
I'll try. Well, thank you so much for having me. It was a lot of fun.
All the pleasure was mine. Pleasure shared, really. Yeah, and you're a nice human being, and it's really heating up the heart, you know, when you see that. So great musicians are really open to a conversation with any person, you know, even if I'm not a famous journalist or whatever. And it's really great. Honestly, thank you again for your time, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Stefan. Enjoy the rest of the weekend and have a nice week. See you later.
You too. Bye.